Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War, and it is September of 1863. I'm hoping we're going to be able to turn things around. We are waiting right now for the Army of Northern Virginia to reconstitute itself after we lost two of our corps in that last battle. They were routed, and it's going to take them a week and a half or so to reform. All patron units have now been recruited, so they are either in the field or on their way to being in the field. So now it's just about trying to turn the tide against the Yankees. We are starting to close the gap a little bit in terms of fielded manpower. It's not quite as dire as it was. Right now, I just want to kind of sit tight and regroup a little bit, since it doesn't appear he's doing any more major recruiting. I think we've got an opportunity here maybe to try and get some of our men back into the field. I'm going to pull the Army of East Tennessee back to where the rest of these guys are. And we're just going to sit tight for a little while we wait for men to get back into the field and hope that his number doesn't go up substantially. Well, here's an interesting fight. We have the 18th Corps against the Department of South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida under Beauregard. And it looks like this fight's going to be somewhere in central North Carolina, not too far from Raleigh. So that'll be an interesting one, a little smaller fight after some of the huge ones we've had lately. The Battle of Goldsboro, North Carolina. Looks like we're going to be fighting in some swampland. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got and what we're up against. It's going to be fairly even numbers, not a lot of guns happening here. Specifically, let's take a look at our troops that we've got. We've got 2,400 cavalry here. We've got 2 divisions of infantry and then some artillery. So let's go ahead and find ourselves a good position to get into. I'm thinking we're just going to want to find somewhere to keep our forces together. It looks like he may be fairly close to us. We are outnumbered a little bit. Let's bring the whole crew right up here. Oh boy, they're right there. Okay. Is this a swamp right here? Looks like it might be. All right, we're gonna keep in this formation where we've got one brigade behind the others. I think that'll probably be good. Although he's got so many brigades, we may not have a choice. I may need to go ahead and get these guys spread out a little bit more. Let's get our cavalry out here on the flank. Don't have a lot of artillery. Actually, we want to get on top of this hill a little bit more. I'm going to throw the cav right there and then deploy down a little bit on the hill. He's going to actually be in our line of fire right off the bat. We've got Walker's command here. Ripley's command here, and we're going to immediately be able to get on his flank. I don't think we have any patron units in this group, at least not yet. We do have some on the way to this command. Okay, let's do it. See if we can turn back his flank right away. Oh dang, my volume was turned up a little higher than I thought. Getting right into the action this time. That's the way I like it. Looks like he's going to try to deploy some skirmishers. I don't like Ripley being right down in that swamp. We're trying to give them long-range fire orders as quickly as we can. These guys aren't firing. It might be too close to the line. Might have to back them up. Alright, let's just hope we can drive these guys off and turn his left flank before he launches any assaults on my left. Oh yeah, there goes the guns. Hopefully Beauregard gets a nice victory for us here. We need one. He's only advanced with some skirmishers so far, which is a little surprising. Let's go ahead and put out our own skirmishers. We're just going to sit tight. I like our position. I like the fact that he doesn't seem to be eager to attack me on my left. He's trying to remaneuver. Still trying to get my guns in position. Let's see if we can get him firing now. There we go. Are we firing? Guess we'll find out in a second. Maybe. Alright, we drove back those skirmishers. Been reloading for a while. They haven't seen any fire yet. There we go. A couple of them anyway are firing. So far, so good. Let's go ahead back up. Oh, yeah. Fantastic numbers so far. We wiped out the only artillery he had. I'll go ahead and tell Ripley to move up a little bit. Send out some more skirmishers. And then I think we're just going to sit tight. There we go. We just drove off his leftmost brigade. He's falling back. I don't want to get too aggressive here. But I am going to move up. We'll see what he does. I'd like to try and drive off another brigade here. Have Kemper send out some skirmishers as well. Alright, let's be careful here because we do have a little bit of an issue with our flank if we're not careful. Don't even have the best weapons with these units. So overall we're looking at really good morale. Big advantages in points. I think we're in pretty good shape if he doesn't start maneuvering and get in position. We 10-1. These are about the best casualties I've ever had. And I think it has something to do with who his commander is. His commander is apparently really lackluster and not particularly aggressive. Who is in command? Let's take a look real quick. We can look at the commander report. It's General Foster. I don't even know that guy. You can see, though, here, his fame's low. His leadership's not bad. His initiative is a little lower than Beauregard's. Administration low. Cunning kind of low. Now, let's try to get Ripley's command out and around here. We just drove off another brigade. Looks like King reformed. Alright, I'm going to start calling back some of my skirmishers because I think a lot of them are getting low on ammunition. In fact, let's just do it at the division level. Make it simple, and then we can send them back out if we want to. Oh yeah, solid. Love it. 1% casualties to his 6%. Now here comes Osborne all by his lonesome self, charging into the field of fire for 4 brigades. What could possibly go wrong there? He's just going to get lit up. It's a nice change from what I've been experiencing lately. This is just going to be devastating fire. He doesn't know what to do. They're going to be confused. They're going to fall back pretty quickly. Hopefully that pushes things a little bit further in my direction. He's got some objective points, though. That's helping him out. Alright, we broke Osborne. Now he's starting to do the shift. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Took him long enough to decide to do that. Alright, Kemper. Let's keep an eye on this guy over here, but then we're going to send everybody else up. And push a little further to threaten his flank so he doesn't go all out on me here. And I'll move the guns up. And I'll move the cav up just a little bit. Bring those skirmishers back in. Not entirely sure he even knows what he's doing. He might be falling back to reform. Yeah, he's falling way back. So we're going to move up and take this objective. I'm going to shift Kemper over this way. Let's bring the cav up. He's going to try to form a new battle line up here and try to hold at Shaw Pond Road. Now he's going to send some skirmishers out. Not entirely sure what Kemper's doing here. Alright, here we go again. He's got a double battle line plus skirmishers. Alright, we're sending all our skirmishers out now as well. And we're just going to sit tight, shoot it out. We've got him on routes. We've got him heavily on losses. He's got us on objectives, but that's about it. He's just going to keep falling back, I think. I'm going to wait and see what he does. How are these numbers looking now? Still pretty good. 2,700 to just 448. 11% of his forces now. Pretty soon we're going to have the numbers evened out. You can see it's within about 2,500 now. All right, we got to call back the skirmishers. They're getting low on ammo. That happens pretty fast. So I'm moving my guns up out here into this open field here. We're going to try and focus on Howell. And then I'm going to send Dunavant with his cavalry over to that side. See if we can concentrate our artillery and then bring cavalry up and see if we can break this guy. Because he's kind of hanging out there by himself. I don't want to launch a full-scale assault on his entire line. I want to pick off units one at a time and cause them to break until I've got the numerical advantage. We're getting really close to that. 700 to 3,200 on casualties. We are going to run out of daylight here pretty soon, though. It's late September. So I'd imagine maybe 7, 8 o'clock. No, no, not the guns. Bring the cab up, right here. I'm going to push Walker forward as well. It's 6 o'clock. We might not get a whole lot more daylight. Oh, look at that. As I'm doing that, he's going to decide to attack my left flank, and he's going to hit it pretty hard, too. He's pulling Howl back. Smart move, AI. Kudos for you on that one. He's going to run out of daylight, though, I think. And I've got muskets on that end, so I don't even have much range. You know what? Let's charge into the skirmishers. See if we can drive them off. Yeah, boy. Light them up. Lost 45 men. Alright, dismount, take these guys on. Let's see what happens now. Enfield musketoons. What kind of stats these things have? Range of 400 yards, reload 3.5 rounds per minute. So we're going to be able to have fire superiority on him, because he's only probably going to get 2.5 to 3 rounds a minute with whatever he's got. And we've got the numbers. Alright, we do have to worry about these skirmishers, though. Let's bring Walker up for support. Getting low on the 6-pounder ammunition. How are our numbers looking now? He's starting to even things out a little bit. Double time, boys. How do I fall these guys back a little bit? Don't turn your back to them, though. Taking a lot of casualties now. Alright, Parsons. Send your skirmishers out again. Okay, good. They're falling back while facing the enemy. That's what we want. We want to open up the door to be able to get this other brigade to fire on them. I think we're just about going to be out of daylight. I don't know if it'll end at 7 or not. Man, these battles have been brutal lately. It hasn't been easy getting people to break and loose. 7% casualties for me, 16 for him. We broke Howl. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen there. It's still not enough to win, though. Because morale's down to 49. Alright, we're going to have to pull back. Alright, 7 o'clock is not the end of the day. We'll go at least another hour. Okay, 8 o'clock it is. We're getting resupplied. And it looks like he has redeployed. So we will do the same. And again, I really want to try and turn his flank as best I can. So we're going to try to line up accordingly. Get the guns in a spot where they can fire. And let's do it. Let's make this the day that we turn these guys back. I should have moved Beauregard over. It's going to take a while for those orders to get into place. Move Parsons back. You guys just need to hold on the left while we move into position over here. His morale went up significantly. 63. My goodness. Wasn't expecting that. I don't know why it would have gone up overnight. I probably should have dug in right here. Alright, he's shifting again. Let's get General Beauregard over this way. So, of course, the problem is here is as he shifts, now he's suddenly got the numbers up on my flank. But that's good. That's the kind of thing you want to see from the enemy AI. You want to see him making smart moves to counter instead of just letting me outflank him. He's making moves to counter what I'm doing so that I can't get away with it. So now Harrison's out here dealing with skirmishers on two sides. Who was wounded? Walker? Okay. That's interesting because he's back here. Alright, what are these numbers looking like? Oh man, he's closing the gap. It's 20% to 10% now in casualties. But he's only got 1,000 more men than me now, so we're slowly evening the numbers out. Walker's low on ammunition. That's not helpful either. Just need to keep picking off brigades as best I can. And right now we've got a situation here where I think we're going to be able to get 3 brigades firing on 1. Yep, and we just broke Spinola. That's what I was hoping for. I just want to keep getting those odds in my favor, like that. Until he runs out of brigades. Okay, here we go again. We're going to try and do the same thing. Once again, it's Kemper's job to push the flank up. And once again, he will react, and we'll try to grab a spot where we get an advantage on a brigade or two. And we're about to grab the objective, which is nice. That'll help turn some points my direction. Okay, here we go. As we move again. Ammunition being low is not a helpful thing. You can see now his morale's dropped to 54. His routes score is pretty high. Let's see if these guys are all firing. We need to get this one up. We got 2 brigades there. Alright, this looks good. I like what we have going here. 4 brigades on 2, basically. Nice, keep driving them back. This is a relatively small battle in terms of the numbers involved, but it could have significant consequences because we're trying to send Beauregard up to help support Lee and retaking Richmond. And this unit is what's in the way of us doing that right now. All right, he's up to 27% to our 17%. It's still about 2-to-1 in terms of casualties. But I'm about to have the advantage in numbers. There, we just broke another brigade. That helps. His morale's down to 48 now. All right. Let's shift Ransom's division a little bit. Kemper's been doing most of the fighting. We're just about into our new position. We're in a place now where we can start to really press, I think. About to get 3-to-1 again here. We can cause this brigade to break. Just gotta watch our casualties because we've been attacking for a long time with the same men. The numbers seem okay though. Harrison's brigade out there on that edge has taken a lot of casualties, 1,000 men. Alright, let's break these guys. Surprised they haven't yet. Man, I can't believe how long this battle has lasted. That's something else I've noticed about the game, is that with all the updates they've been making, it does seem that the battles last longer, and I think part of that is that they slowed down the rate at which people take casualties, made it a little more realistic. Units don't break quite as quickly as they did. But I have noticed it does result in battles being bloodier. Gotta keep an eye out here. We're starting to really rack up the casualties on this side. He's gonna break soon. Once he hits 50% casualties, he'll break. And he's very nearly there. Here he goes. Oh, he broke him first. Excellent. We broke him just before he broke us. That's good. The numbers are getting awfully close now, though. He's been evening the casualties out. Oh, there goes Harrison. I was afraid of that. There are going to be many brigades left in this battle, the way it's going. Pretty intense battle. I mean, look at that. 37% for him, 33% for me. See, the problem is all my guys are low on ammo. That's why he's been evening the casualties out. I think he's better supplied than I am. And that might make the difference in this battle, unfortunately. Yeah, we just lost another unit. Supplies. Supplies are the factor here that might decide this one. Ugh, that's frustrating. You do everything right and you run out of ammo. Man. I don't think there's anything else I can do. Numbers are now even. We're going to have to pull out just because he's got fire superiority and he's just going to be bloodying me from here on out. Okay. So there you have it. That's a frustrating defeat. We outmaneuvered him. We were kicking his butt on casualties and we ran out of ammo. Well, that's an important thing to keep in mind, that is a possibility. So our national morale dropped by 1%. Our military experience rises. Colonel Harrison has fallen to disgrace. Man, it just seems like no matter what I do, I lose the battle right now. So, whew, it's going to be a tall order turning this around. A new National Thanksgiving Day. Lincoln orders a nationwide celebration. Evacuation Day superseded. Our 3rd Corps and 2nd Corps have re-emerged, and it looks like the department under Beauregard's going to be fleeing over here to Lynchburg. So the Union has now moved south and taken Petersburg as well. We lost Drury's Bluff, which is our fortification on the south side of Richmond. Let's take a look at where we're at on policies, because we are able to do a new policy if we so choose. I might do the Revenue Act 1. That'll help us with the financial situation. Looks like we're about 215,000 men behind him in terms of recruitment. I want to look and see where we are, for example, on the Army of Northern Virginia in terms of the numbers. 69,000 men, but 34,000 disabled. That's a major, major problem. You can kind of see where we're at on some of those. I want to look and see, some of these units have 1,800 disabled and 1,000 fit for duty. That's what we've got to work on. We've got to make that better. I'm just looking at all these numbers. It looks like a lot of them are okay. Okay, here. Some of these are really awful. But it's mostly Jull and Hill's Corps especially, where the vast majority are not available for combat at the moment. Meanwhile, otherwise, we are still hanging on to the area around Vicksburg. I've got to get some of these units set up with offensive stances so that in the event one of them gets hit, all of them will respond. I think there's something in the settings I can do where the second I go off of that, it doesn't automatically start playing again. I believe that's an option. You can also lock the campaign map rotation right there. I think the one place we probably can make a move and do something is going to have to be here out of Tennessee, or out of Georgia into Tennessee. Let's see if we can make a move against this corps here. The 21st Corps. He has reinforcements up there. But these units, for me, are relatively untouched in terms of the men that are disabled. So let's go ahead and make that move and see what happens. And you know what? I also need to make sure that they are all sent to offensive, because otherwise they won't reinforce each other. They are. Okay, perfect. So it looks like he actually pulled that corps back. So what I'm going to actually do now is I'm going to go grab these supply depots, if I can. Let's move up and take those for ourselves. That he built. And then maybe even move on Nashville. Let's get the Army of East Tennessee up there. Try and keep these guys together as best I can. Meanwhile, I also want to look and see what's happening in the east, because I know that with me having pulled back to over here after my latest loss in Richmond in the last episode, that opened the corridor for him to go right down Petersburg, right down this railroad, build supply depots, and just march right into the heart of North Carolina, which is a major, major problem that I'm going to have to deal with. And we might be in a position now, since he's so spread out, where maybe this is our opportunity to hit him at Richmond while he doesn't have everybody. Longstreet's got a decent amount of men. Ewell's right behind him. Yeah, see, he's continuing to press down to North Carolina, but we could cut him off, although I think he'll probably be able to still supply from the sea. I'll move these guys to Petersburg. First Corps, Second Corps, and Third Corps. Everybody move on Richmond. Now's our chance to take it back. Union passes a Revenue Act. We're keeping an eye on our own revenue issues. I need the headquarters to get moving too. He'll start moving his folks back up now to counter that, I would guess. Or he'll bring somebody else down from Washington. We're trying to take Drury's Bluff at the moment. Oh, I stand corrected. He's still got several corps parked over here. The 8th Corps with 7,500 men, but a ton of casualties. 22nd Corps with only 1,800 men. 12th Corps, 16,000 men. 5th Corps, 13,000 men. Yeah, it's not a lot there. We're probably not going to get into another major battle today, but I at least want to be able to try and secure some of these locations and see what happens. All right, we've retaken Drury's Bluff, which is the fort that opens the gateway to Richmond. We're trying to take Petersburg right now. Looks like he's pulling his 6th Corps back. He's only got 27,000 men, so he knows he doesn't have what he needs. Ewell's readiness has dropped, which means now he can't reinforce if we get into a fight. I think we're going to wrap it up right there. We've got some major fights to come. We're going to be trying to retake Nashville. We're going to still try to retake Richmond. We've got to close the door on what he's doing in North Carolina and try to cut those guys off. If I can win a victory against the Union Army of the Potomac, maybe I can send some forces down into North Carolina to deal with them. I think we've got an opportunity here against Nashville. Look at all these men everywhere. We're still holding on to Vicksburg. He hasn't really made an attempt on Vicksburg yet. Here's what the numbers look like now. He's got 625,000 men fielded to my 400,000. I think we could probably go ahead and recruit some more. Let me know your thoughts about all of that. We will be back this weekend with another episode. Thanks for watching.